so kind.
I'd like to welcome Avery Grant, who is running for mayor of Long Branch in the election on May 8th. Welcome, Avery.
Thank you very much.
We'd like to just start out with you telling us your story. What should we know about you? How would you like to introduce yourself to the voters?
Well, I'm Avery Grant, and I want to be mayor of Long Branch. And I'd like for you to vote for me as mayor and vote for my bringing back the Long Branch community. Ed Anastasia and Dennis Michelet for council. We want to bring back the old Long Branch where we feel that we live in the city and the city respects us. Qualifications, if you want me to talk about qualifications at this time, I can talk to you. But we have three aspects: respect, accountability, and community. We want you to respect yourselves, your family, your neighbors, and government. And we want accountable government. And we want a government that invites community involvement. And last, we want the community to feel as though they have a neighborhood, that they care about the neighborhood and the city as a whole.
Okay. You have a lot of experience.
Oh, yeah.
I know that. So this is the chance where I'd like you to tell us your story and introduce yourself in more detail, because a lot of people know you, but some people may not.
Well, I'm a retired lieutenant colonel and Vietnam veteran. I've had 600 people I've been responsible for in the military. I was the East Orange city engineer and the director of public works. 72,000 people, 4 square miles. And I was responsible for their welfare. I was the chairman of the Office on Aging Advisory Council. And I approved the start of the SCAT transportation system, and also the Meals on Wheels. And we also initiated a county-wide senior picnic, and I hope that they would start that back. I'm on the Board of Education, and we built those 5 new schools with state funds. And I was involved in some of the negotiation, and it was very successful. I'm also with the Board of Education, through the Black Pilots Association, I brought in 4 computerized flight training simulators for the ROTC. And I've also brought in a 3-star black general to speak to the ROTC, and I brought in a 2-star white female general, so that they know that they can be, anybody can be what they want to if they have the initiative, and that's what we're trying to do. I'm the executive director of the Concerned Citizen Coalition. We cleaned up 17 acres of contaminated land, and through our partners, we had a tremendous lawsuit. 292 people received for health compensation a minimum of $20,000, a maximum of $200,000. With the VFW as commander, Mayor Chaffa asked me to conduct a month-long celebration of 4 amputees. And he had asked Jack Calley to be my co-chairperson. And we honored them. One of them you would recognize is Carl Lagateria. So we've done a lot of work at that. Presently, I'm also chairing a statewide task force on improving student activity. And that's been a very big challenge because I have to move around the state. But as I move around the state, I'm very proud of what we do. And you know, last Tuesday, the governor's wife came to visit our schools because she had heard of the outstanding work we're doing. I'm also a member of the county's Fair Housing Board. And I must say, I'm happy. They assured me that we're going to get our homeless shelter reestablished at Fort Monmouth. That's been one of my major projects. So there are a lot of things I'm doing. I don't know if I have a time limit, but I'm also administrative chair of the St. Luke's United Methodist Church. And we have free Easter and Thanksgiving dinners, which I've been doing for 23 years. And every Tuesday we have a free community dinner. And we have a food pantry and a thrift shop. So we're involved in just about anything you can think of. And along with the school, I've set up a system where they can actually shadow A&T executives. And this is an important effort because we want the kids to have an experience. And what I want to do, and we'll discuss it maybe later, bring in a student youth employment program. In East Orange, I had 210 people, 10 departments, and in the summer I would get 100 youth to work with my people so they'd learn just basic employment techniques. And I made a crazy mistake the first year. I had my administrative section to have milk and donuts for them. They didn't eat it. I found out later they wanted chips and sodas, so I gave them chips and soda. So I can learn. I'm never too old to learn. But we've done so many things. I was the chairman of the cotillion, the Monmouth County Cotillion, and I had the largest group, 79 black debutantes and 79 escorts, and we were very successful in getting scholarship money for them. So I have touched, and I don't want to feel that I'm patting myself on the back, but I've worked with every community in the town.
You certainly have given us a sense of a lot of different kinds of activities, diverse things you've done. Let's focus on the next 4 years. If you're elected mayor, are there some specific things that you would work with probably first or try to make sure you got done in that period of time?
Well, first of all, we'd like to look at the increasing tax situation. And part of that is an accountable government. You know, they've given tax abatements to these projects. And in East Orange, to get my first developer in, I knocked down 2 blocks of buildings, old dilapidated buildings, brought in perimeter sidewalk, brought the utilities up to the property line, and to make fun, I said, I'll even throw my wife in to get you to come in. But the second and third, you don't offer that. They want to come here. And no more tax abatements. And I'm working right now with Senator Troy Singleton on Bill S-59 to get the tax abatement law changed. Now, we don't know how successful we'll be, but we're going to work on that and try to deal with that. The other thing is youth activities and employment. In East Orange, I built 3 swimming pools and a recreation center. And you know, if you don't have something for the kids to do, they're going to get in trouble. Here in Long Branch, I was on the Juvenile Conference Committee, and I was the first trained volunteer counselor in probation, where they assigned me 2 young people to try to work with them who had committed minor delinquent activities. And I received a recommendation from the Supreme Court down in Trenton for the work I've done. And I want family activities. We just have lost the beach front where we would go and have activities. I would take, as commander of the VFW, I would take my kids to the VFW for dinner. We'd leave there and go to the amusement park on the boardwalk. We'd take them home, and then my wife and I would go to the surf lounge and dance. And you met people, you knew people around the town, so you just felt that you were in a good community. So, as I said, even in the Jewish community, I used to be a part of the focus group at the Lenox Hills Synagogue. And I nominated and had elected the first and only Jewish rabbi as the state chaplain for the state VFW. And it was happening on a Saturday, so I had to drive a Wildwood up here to get him, drive him down there to be sworn in, and drive him back for service, and I had to go back. So you mentioned anything, I've been happy. I love this city.
Well, I think you've demonstrated that. I think we're running short on time, so let's focus on what's your vision of Long Branch, say 10 years from now?
Well, I envision one of the first things I'm going to do, and you might smile, I'm going to start a smile campaign. I'm going to start a smile campaign. I'm from the South, and you always look at people and smile and keep moving. And what I'm going to do is talk to the community groups. I'm going to have a banner on the street saying Long Branch, the Smile Center, because I want people to feel good about Long Branch. I came from Germany on the way to Vietnam, and I built a home here in 1967. And when you're there for 6 months, you can go anywhere in the South Pacific. I met my wife in Hawaii, and she said, Avery, I don't care where the Army sends you, I'm staying in Long Branch. And why? When we moved in, the Chamber of Commerce came, brought her a ditty bag, a map. The League of Women brought her voter registration. Reverend McGill from St. Luke's came and took her to church. She says, this is a community, and that's what I want to bring it back.
Okay. Avery, thank you very much. I think you've given us...
We haven't talked about much, but we could be another hour.
Yeah, I'm sure. Thank you very much for sharing your ideas and your history.
Okay. There's no time.